Hi, welcome to my studio. Today I'll be working on some paintings. This painting that I'm currently working on is of a kitchen scene. I pieced together different perspectives of my kitchen to come up with this composition, and I arranged various kitchen objects to fill up the space. Altogether, the scene is supposed to show the process of making chicken katsu. So here I'm working on the window above the sink that's showing a pretty abstract gradient of a sky, maybe a sunset, and I wanted to add some window shades, but I hadn't figured out how to render it. I was honestly putting it off for a long time, and then I realized I could give the implication of window shades really simply with just the outline, and that way I could still have the gradient showing through and get the same idea across. With this painting, I would say I've tried to mix up the techniques that I'm using to depict different elements, and I've been really enjoying that. This is the other painting that I've been working on this winter. This one I started in the beginning of January, and I started it because the other painting of the kitchen is much larger, and it's been hard to stay motivated with it. So I want to get in the habit of working on multiple pieces at once instead of being bogged down with just one, which is why I started this one. So with this painting, I was thinking about the moment right before you fall asleep and how it can be a very introspective time, because it's really one of the few moments you're just by yourself, you're not engaged in any activity other than trying to fall asleep. I came up with this bedside table scene, and like my other painting, I'm trying to fill it with different objects and hopefully piece together a story for the viewer to try and figure it out. So right now I'm working on the wood grain in the table. I found that I really enjoy adding patterns to my paintings, and I think that hopefully it'll add some kind of intricacy that'll make it more engaging. I have a few hours before my monitor hours start, so I'm gonna work on my painting some more. I have this wooden piece that I cut out, and I carved this out of walnut, and I wanted to hang it and put some small paintings here to kind of make a more sculptural painting. And so today I'm going to work on some of these smaller paintings, and I think I'll also work on the bigger ones, just continuing adding details and patterns. After getting brunch, I walked around the area and found some galleries that I checked out. I especially enjoyed an exhibit I sort of stumbled upon by the artist Shota Nakamura. I did not know of this artist before, but I found that his paintings, they feel kind of comforting but also unfamiliar, and the quality of paint handling and color is pretty subtle. There's not that much contrast, and nothing is really rendered too tightly, but it has this kind of hazy effect, sort of like you're looking at a memory, which I find really beautiful. Then I met up with some friends in Williamsburg and I got this amazing hojicha latte, and we spent some time in a vintage store, and then I tried out some candy from the viral Swedish candy store Bon Bon, review to come later, and we got dinner at a wonton place in Chinatown. Thank you to Maya for the rec, and then we finished the night with karaoke. The next day we started with dim sum in the West Village. Then we checked out the Whitney. We really just walked around until we got Italian. My final day in New York, I left in the morning, but before leaving I made a stop at Apollo Bagel since I heard good things. So this is my silent review. I just got back from New York and I wanted to do a really tiny haul of what I got from New York. Really just two things because I mostly spent my money on food, but I went to Bon Bon, the viral Swedish candy place, and I got a bag. And I've been trying some gummies and I would say there have been some misses. Some of the sour ones are really hard to chew, but I'm really enjoying the chocolate orange slices and these rainbow Rambos. They're basically like sweet tart ropes and they have a bit of sour coating on the outside. Really good. I would say some of the other ones have been kind of hard to chew, but overall it was really fun to try. I also just got two pens. I went to, I think it's called Goods for Study. It's a stationery store by McNally Jackson. And I just got some highlighters and some pens. And lastly, on the coach ride, I finished this book, The Line of Beauty. I would say the last section really delivered. It's basically, think Saltburn meets The Great Gatsby meets Call Me By Your Name, and a bit of politics. Also just really, really well written, stunning prose. Drags a little in the middle, but generally I would recommend. It's kind of a book that you have to really commit to because there are a lot of names and there are moments where Alan Hollinghurst, the author, will just go into incredible detail at like a piece of classical music or the description of the furniture, this really intricate furniture. So it gets a bit dense, but it really captures this 80s London, Margaret Thatcher era, also like money, old money, drugs, what it's like being queer in that era really well. So I would recommend.